So I want to do a proper introduction video because I don't feel like I've ever done that for this channel. And I created this channel like a few years ago. So this is going to be a proper introduction video, as well as a video of me flat ironing my hair for the first time in years. I used to flat iron my hair all the time, but I stopped. And now I want to see how much it's grown, because I did cut my hair last year. For the first time, I cut it all off. Like, my hair used to be to the middle of my back, and I cut off, like, I'll say about 80% of my hair maybe last year. And so it's grown back pretty fast. And I want to see how long it's grown for real when I flat iron it. So that's what I'm going to do. And so stick around if you're interested. And let's get to it. So if you are not familiar, my name is Uniqua, but you can call me Neek. Many people call me Neekwa or Neek. Either or is fine. I also like nicknames, so if you come up with a little nickname, I won't debate you. It depends on what it is, though. Don't say nothing crazy. But I do like nicknames. But yes, my name is Uniqua. I am 35 years old. I will be 36 this year in July. I am a Cancer. That's my zodiac. That's my sun sign. I am originally from the state of New York, but I've moved around a bit since 2016. I've lived in Illinois. I've lived in North Carolina. I've lived in Minnesota. Minnesota is where I currently reside. My favorite place to be out of all the places that I've lived is North Carolina. I really did enjoy. I felt more like I fit there in North Carolina, but it was a whole thing with the cost of living compared to the wages, and it was just damn near impossible for me to sustain a living there at that time, working jobs with what they were paying there. So I had to leave there and came to Minnesota and got more established here. And I feel like Minnesota is a great state to come to if you would like to get financially stable or get your career or your business off the ground and things like that. Like, it is a good, I guess, work state. But I didn't work here very long before I started working for myself. So I moved to Minnesota in 2019. I have been here since. And I worked maybe 2 to 3 jobs here since I've moved here, before I started working for myself, which I started working for myself full time in 2020, around 2020-ish. So yes, I am self-employed. I am an entrepreneur. I'm still trying to build that up. What I do is, if you are not familiar, I am a writer, and I write, edit, record, and create animated series and movies. I have been doing that since 2015. It started off as a hobby, just a fun thing to do, because I've always loved to write since I was a little girl. And so as an adult, I just wanted to share my creativity online, and that's what I did. And I didn't expect for anything to come of it, but it blew up unexpectedly, and I'm grateful for that because I was able to eventually stop working for the man and start working for myself. So I am grateful for that, but it was not planned. I did not intend for this to go this way. I won't get too deep into that because that's not what this video is about. But yeah, if you would like a story time on that, or more details on that, or a separate video on that, then I will gladly do that. But for this one, I won't get too deep into it. But yeah, that's what I do. I also read tarot. Currently, I am only doing that for collective readings. So collectively, I post them on TikTok, which I am on the verge of deleting because of the madness that's going on over there. But I post readings on TikTok, and I also have a YouTube channel for the readings as well. So I don't know if I want to link that stuff, because when it comes to my tarot, I don't typically like promote it, because it's not just like content to me. It is actually useful and helpful to many people, and so I always want my messages, I set the intention for them to reach whoever they're meant to reach, and I don't want to like promote it or like push it, you know. I want people to come across the videos naturally, because I feel like that's a sign in itself oftentimes when it comes to stuff like that. So I probably won't put the page to that channel anywhere connect to this channel, but I don't do personals right now. I have been asked by people if I do that. I don't right now, and a big reason as to why I don't is because I'm just really kind of filling out or getting more comfortable with even sharing collective readings, and getting more comfortable with adjusting to my gift, you know, and playing with my gifts plural, and playing around with my gifts and stuff, and really settling into them, and really being comfortable and confident in them. I have been through a lot of things throughout my life. That's a whole nother story. Don't have enough time to even get into all of that, but the stuff that I have gone through in my life has contributed to my self-esteem, or my lack thereof, and my lack of confidence in myself, and doubting myself and things like that. So that's something that I have healed a lot, but I am still trying to get comfortable with the idea of being seen. And that is one of the reasons why I would like to become more consistent on this channel, because that is a trauma for me. That is a discomfort for me, is being seen. Not because I don't want to be seen, but because, like I said, much of the trauma that I've experienced throughout my life has, done a number on me. I was wondering why I was struggling. I'm like, how am I going to comb this out? This is the magic comb, y'all. I had this comb for a long time as well. As you can see, the tip done broke off. But I need this type of comb for my hair, so I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to comb my hair out, and then, we'll get right back to it after I comb my hair out. Okay. Done. Goodness, I usually comb my hair out when it's wet or damp. It's so much easier to comb out when it's damp. But obviously, for the purpose of this video, I have to comb it out dry, and my arms hurt. So, back to my introduction. So I am a writer and creator of animated series and movies. I read tarot on the side. I have so many other plans and intentions for things I would like to do to add to my business as well, which all in divine timing. I've already written out a business plan, and so it's just a matter of bringing it to life. I am single as of, how long have I been single for? I have been single since 2021. So I've been single for 5 years, and I am also abstinent. I have been abstinent for 4 years. I feel like being abstinent has really done a number on my mindset, and I mean it in a positive way. It has changed like how I view people, how I view certain things as well. It has also changed what I'm attracted to. It has changed my mindset, and also what I find to be attractive has changed as well. I like that. I feel more clear-headed. I feel more focused. I feel more like my standards have risen. My self-love has multiplied. It's so many positive that comes with abstaining from sex, outside of the obvious, not, catching things that you don't want to catch, and things that you can't get rid of. Outside of that, because everybody's sleeping with everybody these days, you can't be too sure, can't be too safe. But outside of that, it's like so many beautiful things that comes with abstaining from sex. I am also very spiritual. As I said, I read tarot, so I am a strong believer in the exchange of energy, and I feel like that is probably the most common and intense way you can exchange energy with somebody. And so I am very particular about who I exchange that energy with, more particular than I've ever been. I am very aware that I may very well leave this planet with the last time me being intimate with somebody sexually being in 2022, and I'm okay with that because I found myself in the process. What else? I don't have any children. I've never been married. I am quite an introvert. I'm an introverted extrovert. So I'm introverted around people I don't know. I'm very observant. When I first get to meet people, I don't talk as much. I like to observe people. And that's just naturally how I am. I try to pick up on the vibe of the room, the energy of the room, the environment. Is it safe? Is this person a safe space? That sort of thing. So I I'm very introverted. I like my own company. I'm alone a lot of the time, and the people that I do spend time with are people that I am very close to and who I have known for years or extended periods of time, and so they have proven or shown to me, the type of heart that they have and the type of people that they are, and so they have gained that level of access and proximity to me for those reasons. But I find it to be very challenging to meet new people and actually allow them to enter my space as well, because the people that I tend to meet is so many ulterior motives out here. You can't be too sure with people, especially doing what I do now. Like, I don't see myself as I'm no celebrity, or I don't see myself as nothing like that, but there are celebrities that actually tune into my content, or have tuned into my content and have posted my content, and like I said, it blew up in a way that I didn't expect or anticipate. And with me being so introverted and not, liking the idea of being seen and stuff, it's like I was okay with that, but it actually took off. And so it is like pretty popular. What I do, my content, my work is pretty popular, but I don't see myself as any different than I've ever been. I'm still Uniqua. I'm still the same person. I'm still a regular person. I'm not above anybody else. I'm not any better than anybody else. Well, I am in some cases. It depends what we talking about here. But I mean, and generally, I don't want to be put on a pedestal and stuff. And people have done that to me. People have, come in trying to love bomb me and things like that, and just to gain proximity to me because of how they view me. And that's what I really had to really see. Instead of seeing it from my perspective of how I view myself, I had to really put that aside and start to take into account how I'm viewed by others. And when I did that, it's just a lot of ulterior motives. It's a lot of people that want to get close to you because they want to get the residual, the remainder of, the cloud or the energy or whatever they can get off of you, the attention, the focus, whatever. It's just oftentimes an ulterior motive to it, and I've learned the hard way. And so that just caused me to be even more particular and even more cautious when it comes to meeting new people and, deciding whether or not they're worthy or, they're aligned with where I am in my life and what I want and stuff. So yeah, my circle is very small. I also am level 1 autistic. I probably should have started with that. But I am also late diagnosed. So I was diagnosed last year. It was a tough thing to learn. Not because I feel like it was anything wrong with me or anything like that, because I don't. And I actually feel like neurodivergent individuals such as myself are very, we have superpowers, and we are very unique, and I feel like we're very needed in this world, this neurotypical world. We're very much so needed. And so I didn't feel like anything was wrong with me, but what made me feel so bad when I got the diagnosis was, like I said in the beginning of the video, I've been through a lot of trauma, and that's not what this channel is going to be about, because I've healed from so much of that trauma, and I don't want my traumas to be my storyline. I don't want my traumas to be my life, because I've surpassed them. I will be talking about them sometimes, certain things, but this is not what this channel is going to be about. But just going back to that, I have gone through a lot of traumas and things that anybody, any regular person, or whatever you want to, any neurotypical person it would have been rough for anybody to go through or experience, especially at the ages that I experienced these things. It's like that was already tough, you know, as I began to heal and really unpack those things. It was already tough for me to unpack and to accept in some senses, but then also to learn now that, you know, on top of all of the BS that was already done to me, to also learn that I was autistic that entire time, that I was on the spectrum that entire time, just made it 10 times worse because it's considered a disability. And we are, in a sense, like at a disadvantage. And I don't feel like we're at a disadvantage because something is wrong with us. I feel like we're at a disadvantage because something is wrong with the system. Something is wrong with the world that we live in. You know, it's like there's no accommodations for us. And I feel like oftentimes how we operate and how we think should be the typical way, because we're very direct and we're very honest. And oftentimes you don't have to question, you know, what we need or what we think, or you don't have to question that, because we're very, you know, we're big on clarity oftentimes, you know. So it's like I feel like we live in a world where it doesn't accommodate us because it's so much fake shit in the world, you know. Everybody wants to fit in, everybody wants to follow the trend. Even in terms of communication, the way that many neurotypical people speak, it's like it confuses my brain because it's so much beating around the bush, and it's also exhausting because it's like they throw signals out there, they throw signs, there's no directness. Everything is so indirect, everything is so passive, you know, and dishonest and manipulative, and that's just not how we operate, you know, for the most part. And that's not saying that we're perfect, you know. I've had my manipulative moments, you know. I still battle with certain things that I do that are not coming off like it's not malicious, you know. When I manipulate a situation, you trying to people please is a form of manipulation, because oftentimes when you're people pleasing, you're just people pleasing because you have a fear of that connection going awry, or the person walking away, or, you know, there being a confrontation. Like, it's a fear. So in order to bypass that fear, you know, that you're having, you people please. You do whatever it is that this person, that you feel like this person needs or wants you to do, in order to accommodate them so that they can stick around, or whatever the fear is that you're having. When it comes to that, it's like that's still a form of manipulation, because you're not doing it fully because you want to do it, you know. It's because of a fear. So that's still a form of manipulation, right? So it's like we manipulate, we're humans, we're imperfect, you know, but it doesn't mean that it has to come from a malicious place. And I feel like it's just so much manipulation. Like, it's just so much, like, it's, and even when I notice that I do something that's manipulative, or I say something that may have been manipulative, or like, it's like I self-reflect, you know. I self-reflect and I take accountability, and then I actively work towards correcting whatever that thing is, you know, wherever I fell short at, because I'm always trying to become better. I'm always, you know, that's a huge goal. I just want to be the best version of myself I can be. So whenever I see that I'm doing something that's not so kind, or, you know, that's not the best display of who I am as a person, I reflect on that and I acknowledge it honestly. And I take the steps necessary to correct it. But we live in a world that is not something that is very typical, you know? So yeah, but yeah, so I am level 1 autistic. I will be talking about autism a lot on this channel, because I am still, you know, since I just got the diagnosis last year, I'm still trying to learn how to be autistic. And I don't want to say learn how to be autistic. I'm trying to learn how to be fully okay with being autistic, because, you know, growing up, I always had to mask, you know. I became a professional, I feel like, at masking. And so I'm still trying to decipher when I am masking, and when I am masking, why I'm masking. Is it the person that I'm around, or the environment that I'm in, or is it just an automatic, you know, thing that's just happening because I just have been so accustomed to doing this for so long, you know? It's like I'm still processing, and I'm still navigating. I'm still learning myself, you know, and my needs and my boundaries and my limits and stuff. And so, yeah, I will be talking about my journey on discovering myself more and more when it comes to that. So what I plan to do with this channel is I just plan to just show a little bit of my life, you know, my life process, like what I go through. I like to do little talks because I love to talk. Okay, I'm a yapper. I am definitely a yapper. So I love to yap. So if you love to yap too, this is the place for you. Probably. And we could yap together. Okay, y'all could yap in the comments. I will reply. I do read them and things like that. But yes, I am a yapper. So I will be doing like little videos like this. Like, I guess, get ready with me or something. That's what they're called. Even if it's not getting ready, it's just I'll just be making videos of me yapping, you know, talking about something that may have came to my mind, or a particular topic, different topics of things. And because I love deep conversation, that's another thing about me. I'm not really good at small talk. It makes my booty itch. So I will be avoiding small talk. But yes, I'll be doing like little conversation videos or discussion videos like this. I'll be doing fitness videos as I get on my regimen, and it's getting warm outside, so I'll be getting back to doing my outdoor walks and visiting the beach and things like that. So I'll be taking y'all with me on little, you know, side missions like that. I will be posting vacation vlogs, travel vlogs, things like that. I'll be posting cooking videos as well. Those are just a few different things. If y'all have different ideas as well, I'm always open to suggestions. And then whatever I feel guided to, or whatever I feel like fits me and my personality, I will be open to giving a shot. But this will not be a vlog channel, okay? Because I am a big believer in not making your life your content. And I mean, like, not in the sense where I'm just sharing like little pieces of my life. I feel like that's different because I can share different pieces of my life, what I want to share. But I feel like when you make your content, when you make your life your content, I feel like that could be a bit of a sticky situation. When you turn your day-to-day life into your content, I feel like that can become sort of a blurred line, and then people will begin to expect this of you, and then your life changes, you know. One thing about people in the world is that they struggle with change. So it's like it's hard for people to see you in the different. Like if you look at the Disney and the Nickelodeon kids, right? Like it's like they were kids. And so that's how people often remember them, you know, because that's when they hit the scene when they were children. But, you know, decades later, now they're in their 20s and their 30s and they got a family now, and, you know, kids and all of that. And it'd be so hard for society oftentimes to see these people as adults now, because people don't like change. It's like they have a fantasy in their mind, and if you step outside of that fantasy, it becomes a problem. So I feel like it could be a bit sticky to do that. Also, I'm a very private person, so I will never be that type of person that will be vlogging every little portion of my life, day-to-day life. No, absolutely not. That's not for me. But I will be sharing different things. So my hair is growing so fast. I gotta cut my ends too, though. But it's growing back so fast. The last video I posted, I think, was 2 years ago. I feel like it was like 2 years ago. And I feel like it was a Halloween. I can actually look on my phone. The last video I posted on my channel, outside of the shorts, I've been posting a lot of shorts because they're easier to do and post. But the last actual video I posted was a year ago. It was for Halloween. So it probably was 2024 Halloween. But it was like going on 2 years ago. So I just want to be more consistent. I want to step out of my comfort zone and show the world my personality a bit more. Because like I said, I'm working on being comfortable with being seen more. And even if I'm not comfortable with being seen, I'm just still trying to be okay with being seen. You know, like just doing it. So this is part of me getting myself more acclimated to being seen. It's just me posting content and you know, and just allowing myself to be perceived, because I fucking hate being perceived. Because oftentimes people get the shit wrong, and then they come up with a story in their mind or some sort of fantasy of who they think I am or who they want me to be, and then they expect me to live by that. And then when I don't live by that, it's just a whole bunch of mess. So I just hate being perceived, but I know that's just part of the world we live in. You can't escape that. And so I'm trying to live with it, you know? And this is me trying to live with it. So be kind, y'all, or not. Either way, I'm gonna be okay. Okay. So lately, I've been experiencing burnout, which is not normal burnout, autistic burnout, which is something that I learned about since being diagnosed. And that is something that I've actually dealt with many times throughout my life, but I didn't know that it wasn't normal, or I didn't know that it wasn't, because, again, going back to society we live in a society that's like big on grind culture, grind, 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 chase the bag, you can sleep when you're gone, they let us say that I'll sleep when I'm gone, that type of the hustle culture. And so I used to think that something was wrong with me if I couldn't keep up with it, if I started to feel overwhelmed and burnt out and drained and then starting to feel depressed and all of that. Like I thought something was like I wasn't doing enough because again, it was the trauma and also the crazy irrational like expectations of this system and everything. It's like I thought that I was slacking and I would often push myself, which only made things worse in the end, but now that I know, what I've gone through most of my life and I know where it comes from, it's just very helpful for me to understand myself more. And it's helpful for me to also understand what I need and to pay more attention to my needs. So I've just been being more aware of when I'm starting to feel drained, when I'm starting to feel like I'm reaching my capacity or my limit, So I'm paying more attention to myself these days to see how I'm feeling, ultimately, how I'm feeling and what I need, and honoring that as well, because I am a recovering people pleaser. Okay. I am. Many of the things that I talk about when it comes to mental health and traumas and healing and all of that stuff, many of the things that I discuss and that I may share with y'all in terms of advice or how to overcome it and stuff is simply because I've lived it. So there's never any judgment over here as well. I want to make that very clear. This is a judgment-free zone over here. All of my platforms are judgment-free because we're all human. We all make mistakes. And who am I to judge you? You know what I'm saying? So this is a judgment-free zone. I do be judging people though, but it depends on what it is. Some things deserve judgment, okay? But if, you're going through mental health things, you're struggling with traumas and things, and you're trying to heal them, I'm not going to judge you. You're trying. That's all we could do out here. So, but, yeah, so I've just been really taking the time to myself. I really felt burnt out or started to feel burnt out last week. And since then, I have really been taking time to myself to do absolutely nothing. That has been tough for me because my mind is always going and I'm very creative. So I'm always coming up with new creative ideas that I want to work on, but I'm only one person. And what I do as my work takes up a lot of time already. Excuse me, y'all. That just bothered my tism. Because all these loud noises, I really despise living in the city. It's just a lot of stimuli where I live. And I feel like that has also contributed to the autistic burnout that I've been experiencing. It's just all of this stimuli around me. It's just hearing engines rev like that, hearing the motorcycles rev up, and just constantly people outside. It's just always noise. And I love the noise and the sound of nature. That's the noise I love. And I don't hear a lot of that where I am located, so that doesn't really help. But yeah, so I've just been paying more attention to myself, and I have been taking the time to spend time with myself and just do nothing. And that's where this video comes in, because right now I am required to do things that don't expend a lot of brain power for me. And this is one of those things that I can do that doesn't really require much of me. I feel like I'm trying to get comfortable with doing things more often that don't require much of me. I feel like I'm still kind of overcoming a worthiness wound where I feel like sometimes if I'm not doing something that requires a lot of me, then I'm not doing enough. And again, I know that that is a trauma response. coming from a place where I was often expected to be a martyr and put my needs last, and if I did do anything for myself and I took a break from doing things for other people, then I was judged or seen as being selfish or accused of being selfish and or not doing enough and all of that. So it's literally just the trauma. So I acknowledge it. I'm aware of it. And I don't try to not feel it. I just notice when it comes up. And I still do what I need to do for myself despite what feelings come up, because I know that they're not true. So today I will be doing this. I will also be doing nothing. Nothing else. This seems like it's going to take me forever to do. But I am going to finish up this head of mine, and I will return back when I'm done. This is the finished product. My hair has grown so much. It's damn near to the middle of my back again. It used to be, oh, it's damn near to the middle of my back, but I do gotta cut my ends, which I'm not the best at. I'm trying to learn how to do that. Like I said, I cut my hair last year, and I cut it so low that I wasn't even able to put it in a ponytail. My hair has never been that short, except for when I came out the cooch. But this is my length now. I'm gonna try to cut my ends and stuff, and I'm gonna wrap it tonight. But yeah, that was a nice little project to do, and it didn't require much brain activity. It required a lot of arm activity, but not brain activity. So this was fun. So this is my first video, my introduction video. I might do another one that's more in depth, or I don't know. Just bear with me as I figure out and find my groove, y'all. But like the video, comment, share, subscribe, hype it up if you feel guided to. And until the next video, remember to always stay true.